Hey, I thought I'd film for a minute. It's interesting. As midwives, we have had to be so cautious about coming in contact with COVID during this pandemic. And for a year now, most of us have been pretty lucky. Cora got it back in November. She was really sick for a while and had to be quarantined for a while. And that was really hard, me as her mom, because I couldn't go help her or anything. And so my husband just took a business trip down to Phoenix. And when he came home, the people that he stayed with got positive COVID, and my husband and I were both sick within 3 days of him being home. So it's been interesting because it means I can't see anyone. We were really sick for a solid 5 days of that quarantine. Now we feel tired, but not so sick we can't function. Anyways, we made the decision to come out to our property because my boys couldn't even go into work, even though they're not symptomatic because they're waiting for their tests to come back. In Las Vegas, we have some surrounding towns that we serve. So sometimes we go out to Laughlin or Pahrump or Kingman or Mojave, places around here. So some of us have licenses, Arizona licenses as midwives. What my husband and I did is we fell in love with the Kingman area. Kingman is a smaller town. So we bought 140 acres out here. And so right now we're out here clearing some land at the end of our quarantine. I go off quarantine tomorrow. So I'm really grateful to get back to my clients. What's so great about working in a group practice is you've got a lot of other great midwives that are going to take care of your clients, which is amazing. So I'm out here on this acreage, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what we're doing out here. But our goal at Well Rounded Momma is to open a birth center out here so that the families of Kingman can be taken care of, and we would just share some shifts out here. We're pretty excited, really like the idea of serving the community out here, especially because it's such a quick drive. For those of you who don't know, in Las Vegas, it's about an hour and a half drive to Kingman. And the property I bought is about maybe 28 miles outside of Kingman. It's really nice out here. It's really hard to film because I can't really see what I'm filming, honestly. But I'm going to try and switch this. I'm going to show you a little bit about what we're doing out here. And so this is some of the property here. And so this is all ours right here. We've brought the RV out here, and that's when we come out here. That's what we stay in for now. But one of the first things we're doing out here is we want to plant some trees. I'll share below. Arizona fruit trees is what we are watching. And we're following 3 different farms in the Phoenix area that are doing such an amazing job of homesteading and growing trees and livestock. And so because we're not out here full time or out here enough yet, we're going to start with the orchard and bees. We bought a beehive that we're going to start. And so those of you who don't know, bees are considered livestock because they produce. So that'll be our first step. We're on a waiting list for an address, but you can kind of look around and kind of see we've got some really great views out here. This road that you're seeing that goes up into the mountains, back there is where we actually want to build our houses and a little birth center over this mountain. So down here where we're staying, the reason we stay out here is because this is where the well is. And so we have a storage container up there, and that's what's going to water the orchard because we can't drink out of it. It's all rusty. But our well is over where the RV is parked. And so we're out here right now with Cora's kids. She's got a seminar she's at this weekend. And we've got some really hardworking family members that are trying to clear this land so that we can plant in the spring. It's really nice and warm. It gets a little chilly at night when the sun goes down, but otherwise it's really nice. I mentioned earlier, but we've got 140 acres to kind of do what we want. We think it would be lovely to have a birth center out here where there was animals and a farm, and so that's kind of our goal at Well Rounded Momma. That's kind of our next plan as soon as the legislation goes through. So that's a little bit about that. Just a little bit about COVID, a little bit about what Well Rounded Momma's goals are to be able to serve a wider community around us. We love serving the Las Vegas community. We love the people in the Las Vegas community, and Kingman really feels like an extension of that. The people here have been really friendly. We've met most of our neighbors. There's just one we haven't. We've met a lot of them that are up there in the mountains. As midwives, we're always thinking of the communities that we're living in and wanting to improve them and serve them in some way possible, and whatever that looks like, whether we're feeding them, caring for them, postpartum, being there for them as they have young kids. that's kind of what our goal is. I thought I'd take a minute to give you a tour of what's inside the RV for those of you who have considered RV living. It's really hard to plan vacations. Me and my family have decided to do is we do a lot of quick little weekend trips, and the RV kind of lets us do that without having to get rooms, and it kind of feels like a little home away from home. We're getting ready to leave today, so it's pretty messy. Shayna's over cleaning up. Thought we'd give you a little tour and talk to you a little bit about the things that we've really loved about the RV, some of the trials that we've had. When the pandemic happened, that was also when we kind of were like, we'd like to do our own thing. So I'm going to show you a little bit. I just walked into the RV. I have this great little bathroom in here with a shower, and there's tons of storage. That was really important to us when we got the RV, was having tons of storage, and it's got this great master bedroom in here. Like I said, we've stripped the beds because we're getting ready to head out today, but tons of storage. We've got the ability to wash clothes if we need to, and just a lot of warm gear that we keep out here. This is little man, who's my little buddy this weekend. And then this is kind of our living area. This is from breakfast a little bit, but little dude is hanging out here. But we've got a lot of space, and we can watch TV so long as we're running the generator. We have a fireplace and a place to eat. One of the big things that we loved was the fridge. We wanted something big enough for us because we cook some things that I could not live without. We do have a Berkey water filter, but we haven't needed that so far. This toaster oven has been a total lifesaver, something that I can't imagine being without. And shockingly, this little thing that heats up water, I use twice a day and drink tea from it. We made hot chocolate with it. And so Miss Shayna is with us this weekend. And so, yeah, we're just kind of, you can see, it's so beautiful. We get to all this space. We even have this back part. I know that it's really full of stuff right now, but all my kids sleep back here. There's another bathroom behind where Winnie the Pooh is, including a shower. And so it's been a really great space. Some of the things that we don't love about our RV, we just find that things are broken all the time. And people that we talk to say they have the same problem. And I swear we take it into the shop because it's under warranty, and they say they fix it, and we get it, and it's still broken. So we have some annoying things that, the fireplace is not turning on right now. There's some hardware that is broken on the shower. The bed that poor Shayna sleeps on is just,
it feels a little slanted.
Yeah, we think we should just tear it out and put something a little bit more permanent. But I think the reason why is they just have to make everything so lightweight in the RV, right? Because you're towing it. We're learning little by little what works and what doesn't work. We've actually had to buy 2 trucks. That's what a nightmare we are. We bought a truck. My husband, he drove a little Lexus sedan because he's a realtor, so he drives a lot. So he wanted something comfortable and something he'd take his clients around. And so we ended up buying another truck to pull the trailer. And it was just really, we were going through so much gas, and it was really struggling pulling the RV. So then my husband turned around and sold his sedan and bought another truck. So we now have 2 trucks, one that pulls it way better. You can't even tell you're pulling the trailer on it. If RV life is something that you've been thinking about doing, we have enjoyed it, and we get, I think, a little bit more comfortable every time we come. I think it's the unknown of how things work, and I've definitely had my fair share of meltdown moments where something's not working properly, or the generator we got wasn't powered enough to work something, or and now we're hooked up to the well, which is super nice. That was our goal this trip. And so now we have a little place in the station to call home, which is, I think, really great. It saves us from having to run into town for food and stuff. We bring food with us and do our own laundry, and I think it's been great.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
I think so.
What are your things you like and don't like?
I feel like we fit pretty comfortably in the back. I do get cold sometimes, but that's camping. I like that we have a home here and get to be outside in nature and do all the stuff that we like to do. Huh, bud? Yeah. Getting rocks. We like to get the rocks and play.
We collect a lot of rocks. I'm not really sure why. Hopefully you found that interesting. If you want to hear a little bit more about what we're doing out here in Kingman, let us know below, and we'll keep you updated on the progress. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to showing you more as we continue this little adventure that we're on. Thanks for joining. See you next week. Lance is my little helper, huh? Have you been helping me?
I'm just tired.
He's just tired. He's working hard. It's hard.